Footage released on Monday by a non-profit sea rescue group showed an overcrowded dinghy of migrants at the Mediterranean Sea as they were approached by what the NGO said was a Libyan Coast Guard patrol boat. According to Associated Press, about 30 people were on the dinghy, 4 fell into the sea and 1 drowned, according to the German non-governmental organization Sea-Watch that witnessed what happened from its seabird plane. The migrants' dinghy was reached by a patrol boat from the so-called Libyan Coast Guard, which came on scene to intercept them and bring them back to Libya, said Giorgia Lenardi, spokesperson for Sea-Watch. The boat tried to resist to the interception and to run away, and due to the high waves, 4 people fell into the water. 1 person drowned under the eyes of our air crew. The migrants attempted to seek rescue on the nearby merchant ship Maridive, but were handed over by the crew to the Libyans, according to the NGO. The Tripoli-based government and the Libyan Coast Guard didn't immediately respond to requests for comment.
We sighted boats in distress with around 30 people on board, and there was 1.7 meters waves, and so a situation that was particularly dangerous. The boat was clearly overcrowded, and the boat was reached by patrol boat from the so-called Libyan Coast Guard, which came on scene to intercept them and bring them back to Libya. The boat tried to resist to the interception and to run away, and due to the high waves, some people fell in the water. 4 people fell in the water. 3 were eventually recovered, but 1 person drowned under the eyes of our air crew.
I see 1 more person on port side of Maridive in the water, but it's been more.
All the other survivors were at first rescued by the merchant vessel Maridive, which was in the surroundings, and then transferred onto the so-called Libyan Coast Guard patrol vessels and brought back to Libya, which is not a place of safety for people who are running away from there, and where we know that they will be subject to arbitrary detention and abuse and will be likely at sea again and potentially pushed back, fueling a cycle of abuse. Unfortunately, these episodes are quite common. Last week only, we cited several cases of interception at sea, in some cases violent interceptions.
I still see 1 person in the water. Where? On the port side, on the left-hand side of the Libyan patrol vessel.
German Chancellor Friedrich Merz said his country was no longer living in peace, as Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov accuses Germany of renazification. According to Associated Press, it comes as cyber attacks and drone flights targeted Germany and several other European countries. "We are not at war, but we no longer live in peace either," Merz told entrepreneurs at the Schwarz Ecosystem Summit in Berlin on Friday. "The threat is real," he added. Merz didn't allude to a certain country as the actor behind those attacks but listed a whole range of hostile actions that cause him concern. Acts of sabotage on a daily basis. Attempts to paralyze data centers. Cyber attacks, he said. Lavrov hit back Merz's remarks, saying militaristic rhetoric is growing every day there, in Germany. His famous expression he has already used on several occasions says that he pushed through constitutional amendments, and more money can be spent on arms and the development of military infrastructure and military potential, Lavrov said at the United Nations in New York. The number of serious airspace violations in Europe has spiked this month, including by Russian warplanes. But not all NATO allies agree on how to respond. Poland is ready to use lethal force. Others say that must only be a last resort. Regardless of who is to blame, European leaders believe that Russia is testing NATO. Military planners in Moscow can observe how Western forces react, and countering intrusions by relatively cheap drones is a financial burden on the Allies. In the wake of the drone incident in Poland, NATO launched Operation Eastern Sentry, with Britain among the Allies to send more air defense equipment.
Die Bedrohung ist real. Sie lesen es in den Zeitungen, hören es in den Nachrichten. Drohnenüberflüge, Ausspionieren, Tiergartenmord, massive Bedrohung einzelner Personen des öffentlichen Lebens, nicht nur in Deutschland, sondern auch in vielen anderen Ländern Europas. Sabotageakte täglich. Der Versuch, Datencenter lahmzulegen. Cyberattacken. Ich vermute mal, hier im Saal ist wahrscheinlich jeder Zweite mindestens schon einmal davon betroffen gewesen, wie seine Datennetze und Infrastruktur angegriffen wurden. Wir sind nicht im Krieg, aber wir leben auch nicht mehr im Frieden. Und das muss uns klar sein, wenn wir die Herausforderungen bestehen wollen, vor denen wir jetzt stehen. Und das Ganze wiederum geht nur, wenn wir ein wirtschaftlich starkes Land bleiben.
Deutschland hat die Ukraine seit 2014 unterstützt. Noch ein großes Danke da. Die Briten, die ausgestiegen sind, aber trotzdem sind in unserer Familie und werden bleiben.